Thought we'd just take a moment, just to pause, just to breathe, just to land, as this little half an hour is called resting in I am. Yeah. I imagine there's been a lot of energy, a lot of different workshops, busy minds. And just notice what it feels like just to take a moment, just to sort of, take your shoes off. Yes. Yes, take your shoes off. Get comfortable. Yeah, notice what happens when you start to slow down, to pause a moment, to rest a little. So I wasn't always Devpreet, the psychotherapist, Kundalini yoga trainer, teacher on this spiritual path. I was once Dini Pentecost, which I still am. And interesting enough, the last time I was here at the Horden, I was dancing with 20,000 other people at Mardi Gras in the 1990s. Very different person, really struggling with I am, with who I thought I was. Yeah. And this is the little intro to my little speech, little talk, a little journey of hopefully being able to allow you to also experience that resting in I am place within you. So what is resting in I am? First to know I am, I must first know what I am not. And back then, when I was Dini, I did not I thought I knew who I was. Yeah, there was a lot of labels, a lot of masks, a lot of roles, a lot of goals, a lot of trying, actually, a lot of achieving. Yeah, and I really had a whole list, long list, very clear list of who I thought I am. Yeah, so I was always a tomboy, I was very sporty, I was artistic, I was a sister, I was a daughter, a very strong sense of I am, so I thought. And yet, underneath all of this doing and thinking who I was this real, suffering. There was a lot of pain. I mentioned the Mardi Gras thing. There was a sense of not being comfortable with my sexuality. And this created a whole lot of pain. And it really moved me away from that place of rest, of resting in I am. And so then I thought, well, I'll just do some more. Yeah. I'll go for more goals. So I was very sporty, so I was a Matilda. I was in the first World Cup that went to Sweden. And I thought, well, now I'll be happy. Now I'll be peaceful. And of course we got to Sweden and I got chronic fatigue. And of course nobody knew what chronic fatigue was then. So here it was, I was sort of reaching this place of who I thought I was or supposed to be. And I got sick. And so then I thought, oh, well, I'll just let that one go and I'll go for the next goal. And so it was always a plan to be this famous filmmaker. So then I went to the film industry and I worked on all the top films, and then I wrote a film and it went to Cannes and I was there, and I was the first woman, Australian woman, to be in the short film section, and everyone was like, you're going to win. And with all the red carpet and all the famous people and, you know, at the awards night and friends in the crowd waving the Australian flag, there was still this thing, this place inside of me that was still unsettled, that was feeling like it was missing something still. And as much as I tried to find it through the drugs and the dance parties and then the overachieving and the sporty and the goals, I still couldn't quite put my finger on what was missing. And yet there was this sort of drive, which I now know is the soul. Aha. Aha. Which is the other I am. So there is this finite I am, and then there is this infinite I am. And what we tend to do is we say, well, I am Deanie, and I am a Matilda, and I am an and the mind tries to spin off all of the labels that it thinks that it's I am. But if we say I am, then the mind goes, oh, okay, I get it. I am. So I am just I am. You're still with me? Yeah. And so then, I didn't win, by the way, at Cannes. What was his name? Tim Burton, bloody filmmaker. He was one of the judges. And just for some reason, he was just so against my film. But all the other judges were like, no, this one. Anyway, so I didn't win. And so I thought, okay, well, what now? And interesting enough, this I am, this bigger, infinite I am, had obviously already written it, or had already planned it, or it was already happening, and all I had to do was sort of figure out how to get out of the way of it to go with it. So I was so still caught on the expectation of, no, but I'm supposed to be this famous filmmaker, and no, what happened to me being a Matilda, and who knew that it was all sort of planned, but this I am was saying, well, hold on a second, we've got this plan for you. So then what happened, what I realized that football had led me to film. Film had now led me to my next part of this awakening part, which I was so desperately trying to find. And so what happened was I was traveling with the film, a women's festival in Canada. And I went to visit an old, you got it, football friend who happened to be living in Canada at the time. And she said, there's this great yoga studio up the road. And we both laughed because we were footballers, so you don't go to yoga. And I read the pamphlet, and this one thing, just little tiny paragraph, stood out. And I was like, what is this Kundalini yoga? Wow. She's like, yeah, that's the one I think you should go to. So then I was all snowy and white, and I went to this yoga class, and the teacher was there, and she had because there's some Sikh tradition that goes through this practice. She had a turban on, and she was Sikh, and she was all sitting in white, very similar to what I'm wearing right now. And they were doing these arm exercises, and they were breathing and stuff. And of course, the old footballer in me was like, oh God, I'm not putting my arms down. Like, I'm an ex-Matilda, for God's sake. Keep up. And so I was keeping up as best as I could. And then when I walked out into the snow at the end of that class, it was like someone had taken the world off my shoulders. And for the first time, I was resting in I am. There was this peace. Wow. I had no name for it, no words. It just felt like I was on top of the snow, and everything was white. And there it was, this resting in I am. So what is this resting in I am? So that was my journey. So Ram Dass, I don't know if you guys know Ram Dass, yeah. Resting in I am is a place deep within us where a candle burns, and yet even when the winds of life, challenges, fears, stuff, death comes, blows, pushes and pulls us, the flame never flickers. And this really resonates on that day in the snow. I was like, that's what that is. That all of this doing and pulling and pushing and trying, and I was exhausted. And so there was this moment of like it was there all along, yeah. And he says, resting in I am a state of being where one is fully present and identified with their true self, beyond the ego, beyond the roles, the play of life. This state allows one to see the perfection and unfolding of the universe, including the interconnectedness of all things and the way polarities work. So all this in me trying to become somebody was really leading me to become nobody. And this was all leading me towards the real I am. And so in Kundalini, we say that the I am, so the first I is personal. Yeah, it's this finite self. It connects to the sense of ego. Yeah, that I am, that I exist, that I have this body, that I am sitting on this stage, that I am talking. And then the second I am focuses on the am, which is this bigger part, which is this transcendent sense of self, this infinite part. And if I can slow it down, pause, connect to my breath, go in, then I can hear these two parts existing as one. It's the Aboriginal, it goes through all of the ancient traditions. Just us Westerners are just kind of catching up. But Aboriginal people, the people of this country, call it Dadiri. It's the place of deep listening. They say there's like this inner spring, and if I can be quiet enough and I can deeply listen, then I can go into that place where I am. And then what happens is I don't actually have to do anything. I can just be. And in the being, everything is taken care of. But first we have to realize that all of this is a show. And all of the labels and the masks and everything are exactly that, just the characters that we're playing on that stage. And some in spiritual context call this a prison. And so we need to escape that prison. And then when we escape that prison, what you realize is who you think you are isn't free, but who you truly are is already free. And so the key is to let go of all of the things, all of the ego eyes, yeah? That I am a daughter, that I am a woman, that I am a man, that I am a lesbian, that I am. And then just come back to that place. And the scary part of that is that we have to include the horrible beauty of it all. So I have to include, some of the trauma from my childhood, growing up in Mount Druitt. I have to include it. Being outed at 16, I have to include it. I have to include that suffering. I have to include that pain. And in doing so, then I start to then accept the suffering of others, the suffering and confusion that we're all facing at this time, in this, as we move from the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius. I have to include it, the wars, we see it so much, on social media. It's information age just throwing at us. We have to include it all, because if I can include it in myself, the faults, the imperfections, I can start to forgive, and then I start to grieve. And in the grieving, I can actually start to heal. Because then what happens is I allow myself to feel the parts of which are holding on to the stories, that are holding on to the fear, that are clinging to the I am in the little Dini part. And then I can start to let go. And in letting go, wow, that space of the bigger I am, well, that starts to guide me, and I start to live from that place. And the hardest part, or the hardest person really to forgive, is ourselves. So my show really was about self-denial and self-doubt and regret and shame. And these are the parts that we need to really accept, because this is the karmic, that's my karmic journey. And if I can understand and not judge it as my karmic journey, that I had to go through all of that stuff. I had to go through Dini so I could be Devpreet, and then I could sit here and hopefully be both. And then I can actually start to transcend this place, and I can start to live from this place of love and kindness and compassion. And we begin to live in the natural flow of things. So, that's my experience. What I wanted to do, how am I going for time? I wanted to give, hopefully, you an experience of what that might mean for you, of resting in I am. Just today, just in this moment. Yeah? And there's this beautiful Buddhist practice called the Tonglen. And you just simply use your breath to bring in forgiveness. You're with me? You want to try it? Good, you're still here, sir. So, find a place in you, in your chair, that you can sit comfortably. Your spine is tall, your chest is out, your chin is in. And if you're into it, you can look at your third eye with your eyes closed. Just the space between your eyebrows. And then begin to connect to your breath through your nose, through your nostrils. And just become aware of the sensation of what that breath feels like coming in and out of your nose. Don't judge it. Just notice it. How often do you breathe unconsciously? And this is the very life force that's keeping you alive. And yet it just goes unnoticed. Just bring some conscious awareness to that now. When we breathe consciously, we can clear the subconscious. Now link in intention to the breath. Something around forgiving yourself. And as you breathe in, be present with the breathing in, and as you breathe out, be present with the breathing out, acknowledging the distractions. And as you breathe in, what you're going to do as you're forgiving yourself, you're going to breathe in the pain and the suffering. And it's going to feel like sort of a dark fog or smog or whatever might be there for you. And you're going to breathe it in, this dark fog, and then you're going to breathe out all the good, the light. Maybe there's a little scared, frightened you. Maybe there's the little you that's hurt and suffering. Whatever is there, breathe it in. And allow yourself to feel a genuine sense of compassion for you. And then breathe out all the good, all the light. Breathe it in. Go to that deep, dark place. Breathe it in and then breathe. Breathe out the light and the love. Give yourself a chance to experience you breathe in their pain and breathe out the light. And breathe it in. Imagine you are taking this person's pain, this darkness, this discomfort, thick, heavy smoke, dark cloud. Feel it fully without the fear and let it go. The love and the light and the compassion and the forgiveness. Visualize the light being sent out through your breath from your heart. Warm, light, love, light, compassion, healing energy. Feel it all. Whatever is there, it's okay. Just breathe it in and let it go. And now expand it. Maybe there's someone else that you know who is sick, who has got cancer, who is suffering. Breathe in their pain. Someone who's struggling, someone who's depressed. Breathe it in and then breathe it out. The love and the light from your heart. Warm. Compassion, healing. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathe out the freedom and the peace. Breathe it in as if it's your own pain. And breathe it out. And now you're going to include friends, family. Expand it even further now. Expand your capacity for compassion. This infinite part of you, the I am. Breathe it in. Expand the scope of your imagination. There is no limit. People you don't even know on the other side of the world, their suffering, their pain. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Golden sunlight as far as you can. Send it out from your big, beautiful hearts. Touch every soul, known and unknown. deep and hold. And as you hold that breath, see if you can feel that candle, that resting in I am place within you that's unique to you. And exhale, let it go. And inhale, hold. And exhale. One more. Inhale long and deep. And exhale. And if you can, just keep your eyes closed. Stay in that space of I am. I am. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. When you are resting in your I am, you will look around and you will see only the perfection of it all. The divine beauty of it, yourself included. And when you're ready, I want to invite, just slowly open your eyes. But when your eyes open, see if you can invite them to receive, not seek. Just receive. And in Kundalini we say Satnam. I recognize your truth as my truth, and we are one and we are the same. Satnam. We can just sit here together in this space. Question? Yes, of course. Yeah. So what's the bit where you're saying around the, like you get it?
Yes, so like as your consciousness,
Yep.
how do you do the things that your soul is called to do in life differently to perform the differences in your
Of me personally, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there's less push-pull, I would say. There is more flow. There is more ease. There is more grace, which I never imagined. And what happens is when you start to get in tune with that, because you're tapping into something that already exists and that's much bigger than me, it's like the message becomes clearer, and then I've sort of, like, how am I here? Like, it's the whole story, but, it's not like I planned it or I chased it. It just sort of came, and then I noticed, the fear. Oh my God, what's that going to be? And then last year when it didn't happen, I was like, thank God. Don't tell them that. But no, there was a sense of like fear around, oh my God, I'm going to have to speak and I'm going to have to. So yes, I have to acknowledge that there is that fear, that there is this, and then I also need to use this body I am to come here and to do it. And yet if I can tune into it and feel it, then what happens is I can let go. And then it's not me speaking in a way, it's something bigger, which is terrifying because where am I? Who is this? But what happens is there's actually less suffering, there's less pain. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, like this morning when I did a workshop, I was, I thought, I should have brought my drum. And then the first person I met was a drummer, the late Anandi. And Anandi is also a word that we use in Kundalini. And I was like, hey, do you want to come drum for my thing? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, that's not dumb. So it's like this, yeah.
And I think the important thing you pointed out as well is it doesn't mean everything just becomes easy, because you then face the fears that you have to overcome
Yeah, like this fear around speaking, like once upon a time would have crippled me. Like there's, you know, I can't even imagine, and I don't think it would have happened because I wouldn't have been able to cope with it. But because of all of the work that I've been doing in this place of being resting in that place and trusting that place, then it comes, and it's not this sort of debilitating thing that I can still do. We're done? We're done. Thank you very much. I'm around if you've got any more questions.